Bart and I had to share a sacred holy Dr. Pepper while we were up on the most holiest place of the Hopi.
That's wonderful. How I'd even have a Dr. Pepper for that. How was it?
Well, because grandmother Peaky took us up there, and she had us help her carry her laundry and her water. This is the only place that still has no running water or electricity. It's that famous picture. If you Google right now, WALPI, Walpi, just Google Walpi for images, and you will see you're not allowed to go in there nowadays. You have to get cleared with the office there at the neighboring village, and only if you know a family there or they invite you personally. And there's only 6 or 7 families left up there, and they don't. It's amazing. And I years ago had a vision and that I would meet this family and the land down below, and then about 2 years ago I did meet her, and so she lets us come up there, and it's really quite amazing. But it's just a small trip for people that are really drawn to it. At some point, this place, Walpi, is just going to become a museum. It's coming. So the Hopis are dying out, let's be honest. I talked to her grandson this time, and he said some of the dances are gone. His grandfather, her husband, just took some of that wisdom with him. He had no one to teach it to. The snake dance, I don't think, is even performed anymore, very, very seldom. There's lots of dances, and the grandmother that we know, she'll invite us and go, come on, and she's very open and sweet, but it's changing. The progressive they're called the progressives, but it's just our culture usurping the last native culture. The Hopi's own prophecies say that we will be the last native people to survive, and then eventually we'll succumb to the Bahanas way. They'll first addict us to them helping us, and then they'll remove the help. Does that sound like the government, help program or what? And that is in their prophecy. So there's a lot of alcoholism and some drug addiction in the young and really bad diets again. And there's very few traditionalists, even though you'll see lots of cornfields. We just got some bunch of corn from a woman in Hutavilla, which is one of the villages. All the purple and black and yellow and black and great colored, beautiful corn. And I gave it as a gift to their family, and Joy is like yelling at me going, why didn't you save some of those ears of corn? But it was an amazing adventure. It's still very mysterious up there. These rituals were done at those 5 kivas at Walpi, and they still are. But it is decaying, I must be honest, and pretty soon here it could be gone completely. The Hopi and the Incas have the same prophecy, very interesting. The eagle and the condor, the North and South American prophecies are the same, that our own children will stop listening to us and not want to know the old ways. And at that point, some of the white people will come to us, and we have to give them these ways, and then we're going to die out.
Wow.
It's pretty sad. But the white people have
it's a shame.
Yeah, and this place is practically already a museum, and it's just a few families that they can't do it because it's a matriarchal society.
Oh, goodness. Hold that right there, Tobias. It's that time. We will be right back. Tobias Lars on Truth Brigade Radio. All right, welcome back. Thanks for joining us here tonight, Truth Brigade on AmericanFreedomRadio.com with our special guest, Tobias Lars. He is the creator of Spirit Travel Adventures, which you can find at spirittravel.com. That is 1 T in the middle there, spirittravel.com. And as we talked a little bit about earlier, innerbodyawakening.com. Hopefully we'll have some time to talk about that as well. Tobias, though, this Hopi land, so what, Parks and Recs or someone like that is, I guess that's where we're headed. They're going to come in and take it to preserve it and then charge money for us to go look at it, or what?
Well, no, it'll be preserved by the Hopi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but they're still doing it. They're cultural offices. Today, you can't go up there unless you go on a guide. So they're not going to
give it up then?
On a guided tour. You need to pay and go on a guided tour, and it's sort of become a museum already, and there's just a few families left up there. And this is the only place that really still carries the spirit of it, you know.
Mm-hmm. So they're not going to give it up then to the state?
No.
Okay, that's good news.
I'm sending you a picture right now. I don't think you can use it, Christy, because it's copyrighted by someone else, but it's a picture of Bertha, our grandmother, standing right. She's named Bertha, the English name. Her name is Peaky. You know, they give an English name, you know, but she's standing by Flower Rock. I just sent it to you. It's one of her clan members that took this picture back in 1997. Pictures are strictly forbidden by non-Hopi anywhere on Hopi land now, even drawing or photography. So, anyway, I just sent you that. It's a place that's dying, you know, where the real spirit, the Incas and the Hopi both have that prophecy that our culture that our young people will no longer want to pursue the old ways or be part of it, and we will be destroyed by some of our own people. It's pretty sad, but their prophecy is that they will pass that seed on to some people that do come up there, and then we are meant to bring that out in a new form to our brothers, to the true Pahana, which was supposed to be the good white man, and not Bahana, the bad white man, or the non-spiritual white man. When the Spanish first showed up, you know, the one of the prophecies of the Hopi is that the white brother is supposed to come back with some sacred stone tablets to the Hopi. And the first meetings, the Hopi were very smart. They figured out pretty quickly that these white men are not the ones we're waiting for. Some of the other tribes, like the Aztecs, they thought, you know, they were gods, Cortez, and they got in a lot of trouble. But yeah, so it's a pretty sad if you go in a way, but also there's still some fun. The amazing spirit behind it is still there, and we always have mysterious things happen. Very strange things happen every time. It's fluid reality up there. Trickster, Coyote, Hayoka, you know, the Kachinas, we honor them by first going to Wapatki, which is an old abandoned Hopi site that they still go do ceremonies at every year, and we sit in a kiva there to honor the ancestors. The Anasazi is simply a Hopi word that means the ancient ones, the old ones. We're all children of God. This is one expression of it. Things come and go. It looks sad when a culture dies, and it becomes put in a museum. I mean, come on. It's like taking your pet and stuffing them and sticking them on the wall. It's not that exciting, you know.
Yeah.
Wow. You'd rather have it be alive. But things have a timing and a cycling to it. So for the right people that want to come and receive the seed of the true spirit of the Kachinas, these ET spirit gods, the white brothers from the stars, that work with the true Hopis. They are still a very innocent people where we go. 90% of them are very open and playful and sharing. They simply had no thing about secrecy and ownership and you know, trying to get one over on each other. They're still a very open, friendly people, I should say. There's just an open friendliness which they have learned to simply not talk about certain things to us, you know.
Okay, so there aren't actually set dates for this adventure. It's just kind of as it comes?
Certain people call me, and then I'll try to talk you out of it or ask you why you want to do it. And what you But, yeah, it's not a group. We can't take groups. I just take 2 or 3 people at the most, you know, 1, 2, or 3 people, and we've had some amazing connections. I think one guy that came one time, he was actually a reincarnated Hopi himself, and it was just amazing to watch what happened to him up there. And We had some magic on this last trip as well. It's private. I can't really share what happens for people, but it's individual things that happen. If I told the stories, you'd think I was crazy. But you can read it. If you go to Google and type in how the Hopi create their world, I have an article there written by a friend about something that happened to us about 15 years ago in the Wapatki Kiva. It will stretch your imagination, but it's a true story.
Well, I just posted that in the text chat over at truthbrigade.com, that link. And I want to ask you about your journey coming up in October, but this is a great question that came up in the chat, probably not a short answer, but the question is, does belief in prophecy create the prophecy?
Yes and no.
It's not either or, it's always both and more.
I want a straight answer. I had somebody come up to Hopi, and if you think you're going to get a straight answer out of, grandmother and the elders, you're in for a rude awakening. It's not how it operates. The secrets of the universe or sacred things are not given to you in textbooks. It just doesn't work that way, yes, if you... No, there are prophecies that are bigger than us. Whether you believe in it or not, it's going to happen. In your personal prophecies, yes. You will regulate if they come true or not, I would suggest.
Okay.
But the destiny for the earth, certainly you have a little bit of influence over, but you cannot tell Mother Earth what she should or shouldn't do, or if you decide to say, I don't believe in that, it's not going to come true, it still will happen.
Okay.
I mean, it depends. Yeah, and this, so personal prophecy stuff, like about your personal life, it certainly matters if you reject or believe it. For example, astrology. Astrology is a mathematical science. It's absolutely true, of course. I mean, if the moon can move billions of gallons and tons of water every day, twice a day in the form of tides, certainly planets have an influence on us because we are 70% water, right?
Yeah, and we all agree the moon controls the tides, and that's just a tiny little satellite.
That's right.
And women's cycles and such.
And the moon makes women crazy once a month. That's when we have to just stay away from them.
Well, once a month isn't bad. I mean, considering the alternative, being male and being crazy all the time.
Oh, right on. Yeah, sure. Okay. And see, we got to let the women believe that, guys. You just got to go along with it sometimes.
Yes.
But yeah, so astrology is real, but it's not meant to enslave you. Your stars and your planets are not meant to control you. The sun is in charge, and the planets are sort of her or his followers. And in a sense, there's some theories that the sun gave birth to the planets, literally gave birth to them. And so when your astrological influences, yes, it's real, but you're bigger than that. You as a soul are literally a star, so you're in charge. So even a prophecy can be changed. For example, Edgar Cayce, predicted that, and all his readings, medical readings, were absolutely right on, accurate all the time. Some of his prophecies about the flipping of the poles and the major Earth shifts by 1999 obviously didn't come true, at least not in this reality. But that meant, yes, we can affect it. If enough of us wake up, we don't reap the pain, right? Prophets usually come to say, hey, look, if you continue down this way, you'll get a giant tsunami or pestilence or something bad will happen. If you change your ways and tune into that which is natural within yourself, if enough of us do that, we avert. Usually old school prophecy was catastrophes, right?